Every year in Britain, more than 5,000 people kill themselves. That's 2,000 more deaths a year than occur on all our roads. Amongst young men in the UK, suicide is now the second greatest cause of death. But suicide remains a taboo subject, something few people are prepared to talk about. Richard has agreed to tell us his story.
I was like a pressure cooker. I didn't have the right releases or whatever it was to sort of let bad things out, and so they'd all build up, and it would get extreme, and then when things got extreme, my way of dealing with it was to attack myself and to hate myself. I just felt like there was these two, like I could be two different people, and I'd go through long periods of knowing that the best thing to do would be to kill myself, and then I would suddenly have a day where I was thinking more rationally, and I was thinking, what, and I couldn't believe that I'd been thinking that. About the last time that I tried, I remember just walking into my bedroom, and I was just nothing. I just had no feelings at all, and it was all just really calm until it started to strangle me, and I was getting dizzy, and I think just when I realised that like I couldn't get myself free, and then I just started to panic, and then it felt like a sort of animal. I just felt like an animal trying to live.
Last year, Richard went to stay at the Maytree Respite Centre. Founded in 2002, Maitri is a unique sanctuary that offers a short residential stay of up to 4 nights for people in a suicidal crisis. Paddy Baisley is one of the founders of Maytree.
Some people, it was just a mad idea that you would have a house and suicidal people, actively suicidal people, would come and stay, and it wasn't medical, and we weren't going to search people, and people were free to come and go. And that was just unheard of. You've actually got to really want to be prepared, to give the time, and to hear what the person is saying, because it's not always going to be easy to hear. And if they do feel suicidal, and why shouldn't they? Don't just come into a house and stop feeling suicidal. Especially as here, the chances are you're going to go into the depths, the real depths. You may not, but you may well go to the real depths of death, life and death.
Today, Richard is revisiting Maitri for the first time since his stay.
I'm not too sure what it feels like coming back yet. I think I'll probably feel more going inside, but I did recognise the pub on the corner of the street and things. I think it'll be nice to come back. It's always been a nice little haven, nice little bubble that I remember. Hi, Richard. The strange thing was walking in, and at the time I came here there were 3 other guests. You find people that know exactly what you're feeling and have been doing the same things, and that's a sort of relief, and that's like making instant friends. Everyone knows why you're here, but you don't necessarily talk about it straight away, and with some people you don't talk about it at all. And from the volunteers you get this kind of kindness that, I wasn't finding that outside in everywhere else. I was feeling very much like hollow inside, and I had nothing. I wasn't connecting to anyone. This is there's a guest book here that everyone writes in, and it was just you write in generally sort of when you've once you've been in here at the end of your stay. And it was quite something as well to sort of flick through and read everyone who's been here before and read some of their things, because some of them really resonate with you.
I've never felt calm inside myself or able to be completely who I am, but I think I was here. I hope I can keep a little bit of Maytree with me when I go back out into the hurricane.
And you have
Hurricane. Yes, yes.
And you have done.
Definitely.
And I remember for me, like that, when you're feeling really emotional, you might hurt yourself. But when you're feeling suicidal, it's just so weird. It's like you had no emotions at all. You're just
kind of
like a
step
zombie.
outside
Just definitely for me, it was, it was a turning point, and it was something starting that tiny little bit.
It got the hope bit going.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
ignited that bit of hope.
Yeah.
That it may sort of go ups and down in all sorts of ways, but
Yeah. But like I said, when I went to the Thames, and that was the only time I've ever done anything that came close after being here, there just wasn't the intention. Since then, gradually, I felt like less and less like it's not an option.
It's amazing that just when you most need it and feel you are at an end, there is this place that welcomes you in and allows you to see kindness. You don't have to feel you're separate from life. It's the building, the view of the garden, the table, and the offers of tea.
I remember before I came, I couldn't get my head around it, and I remember asking, well, do I need to bring anything? Do I need to bring food? Yeah.
and it's just lovely the way that, and it's very informal, the cooking here, and as Richard said, he made some coleslaw, and Chris, who was here, sort of made some delicious soup last night, and that's often the beginning of thinking about living, just starting to think about food, because so often people have actually not eaten, they've kind of really isolated themselves, really cut themselves off from everything, and just here that can be the first step of looking after themselves and thinking about life, because if you're not eating, you'll die.
The thing that I got from the Maitri, I think, was the first time that I got any kind of confidence.
Things didn't change straight away, but it kind of lit a little pilot light, it felt like to me.
I think a lot of people hearing what Richard has said would find it just so unbearable, it's so painful, and would want to keep away from it, where the essence of Maitri is to actually not want to get away from it.
For a long time, I could cope with surviving, and I was sort of quite neutral about everything. I was quite flat. But what's been really nice is recently just feeling like I've got back on track, kind of thing, and looking forward to the future and having hope and enjoying life, which is about 1,000,000 miles away from what I was when I went to the Maitri the first time. So yeah, it's been really good.